to the collab with Coach Justyce. Um, we want to thank you very much for joining us today. We will be posting this up on our YouTube channel. Please make sure to like, share, and to subscribe. Today, we are going to be talking about getting back into the gym, especially considering what's going on with the coronavirus and this pandemic.
Yes.
A lot of us have been out of the gym, but we're going to be getting back into it. But just want to introduce, just for those who have not met him yet, Coach Just.
How we doing?
Come on in.
How we doing? It's Coach Just. I'm representing JB Force Fitness here out of New Jersey, and I'm ready to have fun. No, I'm just kidding. Today's subject, like you just said, definitely hits home because there's been a lot of people that have been around me that have either gotten the disease or had to stay out because of the disease. And one aspect of you getting COVID is that you are not allowed to do any type of working out for an extended period of time based upon your symptoms or based upon the CDC. So this is definitely important for those that are trying to get back into activity or those that haven't been in activity due to something else. This is very important. So you want to give them a breakdown of what they're going to be looking for?
Sure. So today I'm going to go over the FIT principle, FITT. That's going to talk about how we are to be creating our workouts in regards to a structure or schedule of those workouts. Also, we're going to talk about a few principles of actual exercise training. So with no further ado, I'm going to get into the actual principles of exercise training. So again, as we talked about getting back into the gym, there are going to be 5 principles that I'm going to talk about in regards to exercise training. That is going to be, what areas are we trying to target in our actual routine? The first one is going to be cardiorespiratory. The second one is going to be muscular endurance, followed up by muscular strength, followed up by mobility, and followed up lastly by body composition. So when we are creating our workouts and getting into the gym, those are the 5 areas that we want to really be looking for improvements from. So we really want to make sure that our cardiovascular system is getting stronger, getting healthy, making sure that we're able to get blood to the actual muscle, get through workouts and nature. With that being said, when we haven't been working out for an extended period of time, typically speaking, in most cases, our muscular endurance starts to wane or starts to dissipate. So we do want to start working on some of that muscular endurance before we actually start working on that strength. We want to make sure that when we're doing those exercises that we're able to get rep after rep after rep after rep so that we can start to work on that muscular strength. Thirdly, we want to make sure that, again, we're working on that mobility because a lot of times with us not working out for an extended period of time, we start to lose some of that mobility. We may not be able to get as deep into our squats as previously. If we were doing like a lunge movement or something of that matter, we may not be able to lunge as far because we might have increased or decreased hip flexion. We may have tightness of the back or things of that nature. So when we're moving in our turning motions or transverse movements, the back might be a little bit tight. So we may not be able to get that full range of motion. So we want to make sure that we are going to be increasing that flexibility. And lastly, many times when we're not working out, and many times when we are working out, one of the main goals of working out is our appearance or body composition. So we definitely want to make sure that we are going to improve aesthetically how we are looking at that as our goal.
Mm-hmm.
Have anything to add to that, Justice?
I mean, you definitely hit all aspects of why we train. There aren't really any more goals except for like performance. And obviously, if you haven't been doing something for a while, then your performance may not be the same, because practice makes perfect. And if you can't practice it, then it won't be perfect. I did want to add something about the cardiovascular system. That's definitely crucial when you're getting reacclimated to doing some activities. There's actually a known fact that if you improve your cardiovascular system first, that'll actually benefit your output, or your strength output, your muscular ability to exchange your oxygen out thoroughly, I guess I'll call it. And for most muscles, they aren't, or for most big muscles anyway, they aren't as oxygenated as a lot of your cardio muscles. So by your body being able to kind of exchange the oxygen in and out of your bloodstream a lot better, then you'll be able to use that aspect thoroughly during your main lifts or your heavier lifts or whatever the case is. And then also, like, depending on what you're lifting for, and depending on how many reps you're doing, you have to be able to sustain that activity, or else you won't be able to get the reps done. So if your cardiovascular system is a little low and you're doing 15 reps or 12 reps in order to grow bars, you're not going to be able to sustain that activity. And then we'll be breaking down sets into 11 and 1 instead of just doing 12 straight reps. So that's definitely a crucial aspect for sure.
Thank you very much for that input, Coach. So now we want to move on to the FIT principle. That is FITT. This is one of the methodologies that I use or like to use when it comes to actually developing a workout routine or a workout schedule. So FITT is actually an acronym, or FIT is an acronym dealing with 4 different areas of our actual workout or actual workout schedule. So F in FIT is going to deal with the frequency. How often are we going to be working out? Are we going to be working out 3 days a week? Are we going to be working out 4 days a week? Are we going to be working out 5 days a week? Are we going to be working out 6 days a week? So when we are creating our workout routines and getting back into the gym, we want to make sure that we are creating a schedule that goes along with the goals that we are trying to meet, and also go along with where we actually are in our fitness life. So again, if we haven't been in the gym for a minute, trying to go back 6 days a week sometimes can be a little bit difficult. You may need to work your way up to that. You may need to start off at 2 days a week or 3 days a week, and then start to progress from there. So again, the first letter in the acronym FIT is frequency. How often are we going to be working out per week? Also, by knowing how many days a week that we're going to be working out, we're actually going to create our routines around that. So if I know that I'm working out 3 days a week, I may do a upper body day, a lower body day, and then a full body day. If I know that I'm working out 5 days a week, I may do, a push, pull, hinge, and full body day routine. Or, I may do a conjugate style of routine. So again, based upon how many days I'm going to be working out, that is going to help me dictate how I'm going to actually create my workout routines for the week.
For sure.
Our second acronym is going to be intensity. So how difficult or how intense is our workout going to be? Now, as a coach, we like to run our intensities based upon what we call a 1RM or 1 rep max. And we will generally base our routines based upon a percentage of that. So what do I mean by that, Coach? It means that hypothetically, I can bench press 225, but I've been out of the gym for say 4 or 5 months.
Hmm.
If I know that the last time I benched, I can bench 225, but I haven't been in the under a bench or in the gym for 6 months, it
Hmm.
isn't realistic for me to actually go back and initially try to start off at 225. It may mean that I'm going to reduce the intensity of that workout to maybe 60% of 225 to be able to get my muscles active and get them used to working out again, to do some neuromuscular recruitment, just to get the body back to working out. So again, when we're talking about the eye, we're talking about the intensity. How difficult is that workout going to be? But that also goes in hand with the first principle of frequency.
Hmm.
Because if we're working out 5 or 6 days a week, we don't want the intensity to be so high every single day
Right.
that it can lead to injury. Now, the third
Coach, back
principle
down
that
a
we're
little
going to
bit.
talk about is going to be type. So, what types of exercises are we going to be doing? So, again, are we going to be doing an upper body, lower body, total body exercise routine? Are we going to be doing a push pull routine? Are we going to be doing maybe biceps, triceps, shoulders one day, chest and back another day, legs another day? So again, when we're talking about the fit principle, we're talking about the frequency. So how
Hmm.
often are we going to be going into the gym? That may determine the intensity that we are going to be working out. Again, when we're just getting back into the gym, I would
Yep.
suggest, generally starting at a lower intensity, maybe around 65% of your 1 rep max, and then using the first 2 weeks or so as a general preparation to start to get maximum effort out of your body and to start getting that body ready to do a maximum effort out of the workout.
Hmm.
Um, and then we're going to go again into type. So again, when we have frequency, intensity, and type, that's really what we're going to utilize to determine how we're going to work out, how often we're going to work out, the intensity of the workout, and the exercise selection that we're going to utilize. And then lastly, we're going to talk about time. What is the duration of our workout? Are we going to be working out for 30 minutes? Are we going to be working out for 90 minutes? Are we going to be working out for an hour? So again, all of these principles, the frequency, the intensity, the type, the time, all of those things work hand in hand with one another when developing an actual routine. So again, if I know that I'm going to be working out 3 days a week, again, I may do an upper body, a lower body, and then a total body workout. And I know that my intensity may be around 60 to 70, 65 to 70%. And then based upon that, I know that, again, because I'm going to be working out 3 days a week, that's going to tell me what types of exercises that I'm going to be doing. Again, we're going to do an upper body day, a lower body day, and then a total body day. And again, based upon the frequency and the intensity, I know how long I can work out at that intensity. So I know that I can work out at 65, 70% for 90 minutes. But I don't know that I can do a 90-minute session working out at, say, 90% of my 1 rep max.
Right.
But again, you may be able to do that when you start to increase your actual rest period. So again, it's going to be a trade-off between work and rest. But again, those are the 4 things that you want to make sure that you are considering into your workout. So again, you want to consider the frequency, how often, the intensity, how hard, the type of workout or types of exercises that you're going to be doing, and the time in which the workout will last. But again, you also want to deal with those 5 principles of your muscular endurance, your muscular endurance, your cardiovascular endurance. You want to work on your flexibility. You also want to make sure that we're dealing with your body composition and
And then
your
your
muscular
overall
strength,
strength.
because that's why we're actually doing the workouts themselves. So I'm going to hand it off over to Coach Just.
So Coach, you made some great points. A couple that I wanted to glaze over. I find it very interesting that these go hand in hand with each other, to the point that through my certification, we teach that some reps correspond with a certain percentage. So for
Correct.
instance, if you're lifting at 60%, then in order to get maximal activity out, then you should be anywhere between maybe 12 to 15 reps,
15
even
reps.
20 on the high side, but that's training at optimal percentage, right? So if I'm just now getting back into the swing of things, then instead of me actually doing those 12 to 15 reps, I might just do 10, because that's going to lower the intensity, and I'll still be lifting 60% of whatever weight I used to lift. However, it's not going to be for the same amount of reps. I find it very handy to kind of toggle the amount of reps that I'm doing, or the intensity, based upon whatever exercise I'm doing, based upon whatever muscle group I'm doing. Also, uh, when you're doing certain lifts, like your core movements like deadlifts or squatting or any of that stuff, they recruit more muscles than you, let's say, doing a leg press, or you doing a leg extension, or a tricep pull down, or whatever. So
If I can interject for one moment, because you brought up a beautiful point.
mm-hmm.
So we talked about the deadlifts. So a deadlift is a multi-joint exercise.
Right.
And that's where, as you and I, as fitness professionals, know that when we are talking about not only creating a routine and selecting exercises,
Mm-hmm.
exercise order is important. And
Yep.
that's where we know that we should be doing our multi-joint exercises
Mm-hmm.
before moving on to a single joint exercise, because of the increased demand on the muscle groups. And typically speaking, when we're talking about multi-joint exercises, those are going to be our larger muscles. So,
Right.
example I like to give is that if I know that I'm going to be working out on legs that day, my multi-joint exercise that I'm going to do first is going to be a squat.
Mm-hmm.
My single joint exercise that I know that I'm going to end my day with, or toward the end of the actual routine, may be a leg extension or a leg curl. But I just wanted to say thank you so very much for bringing that point up.
Right. So that is also a great point, right? So when we're getting reacclimated to activity, I might not even do a multi-joint exercise, because of how much effort that's going to take, because of how many muscles that's going to involve all at once. Depending on how my cardiovascular system is, I may not start off with that larger movement necessarily. But I mean, that's also personal preference, and that's also how conditioned I'll end up being. But generally speaking, when we're trying to recruit muscles and get the most workout or the most effort out, we definitely want to go on the higher end, or multi joint exercise, or multi-axle exercise, just to make sure that we're engaging the most muscles, going from biggest to smallest, and then just finishing our workout with those smaller ones, making sure that we kind of glaze over everything. So those are some good principles to focus on. It definitely, and I can't stress this enough, you making sure you get your cardio in is definitely crucial when you're lifting weights. It engages the smaller muscles and prepares your heart and your body for stress. because that's basically why you're working out in the first place, is that stress. And you want to be able to put your body through certain stressors, that way you can adapt properly to them. um, if you're not doing so at a rate that you can withstand, then you might put too much on your body too fast. And then we get into whether or not your mobility is affected or not, or whether your strength is affected or not. Don't try to rush the process, and you really have to be in tune with your body. That is one of the one of the greatest things that you can do, is just be aware of your mind, your heart rate, and your body. Also, I mean, also, while we're talking about heart rate, you mentioned intensity, right? And for those people that have no idea what their one rep max is, we also, as trainers or strength coaches, we also use an RPE system, and that's literally on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard is it? Because most people can fathom around about what level they're training at based on a scale of 1 to 10. And then based on that, you can kind of acclimate it to using weight. Obviously, if you're training at an 8, you should either back it down if you're just now getting started, or you shouldn't withstand that for too long of a period of time. You want to make sure you're taking your ample breaks in between the exercises themselves, and ample days in between your workouts. I mean, when you're just getting started, you want to give yourself time to grow, give yourself time to rest, give yourself time to recover. That's going to be that break time. And that's just as important as you actually putting the work in the first place. And honestly, it kind of ties into our last video, which was how your metabolism kind of kicks up when you're trying to lose weight, or in general. And even after some workouts, your metabolism lasts long after you get done the workout. You got to give yourself time. So I really feel like when we're just now getting started, you just got off of that long hiatus. You just are getting off of the couch, or whatever the case is. You want to start off by building your conditioning, your overall conditioning. And then honestly, like for me personally, I might put my clients on 4 different kinds of machines to build up their cardio, or I might make them do some body weight exercises, but up the reps, just so they can get used to it, and make sure the intensity is on the lower end, but they're doing enough reps to where they're building that, they're making sure that their hearts are in shape first.
That talk about that preconditioning phase. Those
You're
first 2 weeks,
exactly
that
right.
preconditioning, getting that body ready to progressively perform
Yes,
during those more vigorous routines.
that is crucial. That is crucial. Building your conditioning is going to be crucial for anybody's program, for anybody doing any type of workout. If you aren't conditioned to putting yourself in through a certain thing, you need to get conditioned. That's why we have homework in school. That's why you have to learn how to cook before you can actually get in somebody's kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are all crucial aspects in you acclimating yourself or reacclimating yourself. So uh, when we're getting off that couch and just restarting some activities, build up that endurance, whether it's you walk in for a certain period of time, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or you riding a bike, or you doing some squats, or whatever the case is. I mean, there's multiple ways you can build up your conditioning. It just all depends on what your goal is, and what your body is responding to. Then once you build up that conditioning, and you give yourself ample time to recover, then you're already going to be improved from when you started. And for those people that are getting off of the couch, you'll even see some results happening as far as 3 to 4 weeks out. Your brain is just now getting involved and just now getting into the habit of certain things. So you're not going to see it right away, but after the 3 or 4 week period, then all of a sudden your body might change a little bit. You might be able to drop those pounds almost immediately or substantially after that period of time because your body got warmed up, you got reacclimated. So
I like to say that typically, it takes about 5 to 6 weeks to see major improvement in those 5 areas of the cardiorespiratory endurance, the muscular endurance, muscular strength, the flexibility, as well as the body composition. You'll start to see those results about, anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks is where you start to really start to see some change.
you're exactly right. And then honestly, that also depends on your frequency. Because if you're going 1 day a week for 4 to 6 weeks, you're not gonna see that much of a result at all. You need to make sure that you are putting your body through these experiences on a regular basis, or at least on some type of regimen, 3 days a week being the minimum, because you'll be able to have ample rest in between on each day, and then the following day is another workout day. That's the prototype situation. But obviously, as coaches and depending on the goal, we all have our certain preferences of how many days we somebody or a team or whomever should be working out. But I honestly feel like if you are to listen to this and kind of diagnose your own situation to figure out what's what, we'll be able to discover exactly how to kind of process our own situation and kind of plan moving forward, because this is definitely going to be a thing, either reacclimating yourself to working out at home or reacclimating yourself to working out in general, getting off of the couch, blah blah blah. So with that being said, I believe that I am done. Do you have anything to add?
No, I don't have anything else to add. I just want to say, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and talk tonight, about how to get back into the gym.
Thank you for inviting
I think
me.
especially right now with the pandemic, with gyms just reopening and there's threats of, gyms being shut back down and people having to navigate through that, just giving them these tools so that they'll be able to navigate back into their routines or to be able to develop an initial routine is just critical. And I just want to just thank you for all the information that you've shared tonight. It's been incredible.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We're gonna keep moving. Gotta keep moving. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe this video and watch a lot of our other videos too. And if you have any questions or anything to add, please don't hesitate. And then also give us some categories to touch on, or give us some subject matter to touch on. You can contact me on Instagram at JB Fitness, and Coach Lay, you can give them your handle.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at Magis_athletic_training. So again, Magis_athletic_training. On IG, you can find me at Magis Athletic Training on Facebook. And since you're already on the YouTube channel, you may as well just click that like button.
All right, guys. We appreciate you, and we will see you again for the next episode of the collab. See ya.
Thank you. Good night. God bless.